parenting tips. Do you know you can teach your toddler to tidy up after himself? It's a good idea to teach your child this responsibility early on, because the older they get, the harder it might be to teach these routines. The first thing to remember is that children learn from example. So, if you treat house cleaning like a chore or a punishment, so will they. Make tidying up into a game for you and your kids. You can also make up a reward system to encourage them to put their toys away or to make up their bed in the morning. Make it easy for them to tidy up. Use just one blanket instead of a whole set of beddings. Set up plenty of storage places for his toys that are on his own level. Teach him to take out only a few items at a time and put the items back in place before he starts playing with something else. This is an opportunity to teach your little one good habits, responsibility, and the importance of staying organized. Many parents deal with the following situation. You say no to your little one's request, and he starts whining. What should you do? Ignore it? Say yes? What other choices are there to deal with the whining? Many kids whine. It is one way for them to get what they want. You can minimize whining by changing your response. First, point out to the child that he is whining and ask him to use his regular voice. Validate your toddler's feelings. Tell him that you know how disappointed he is. Give him an alternate response. He can learn to say okay. You can also offer a replacement. If you are going into a situation where you know your child will whine, you can prepare them. Tell them, for example, "We are going to the store, but we will not be getting any candy there." Inconsistency might bring on more whining, so don't give in even if the whining continues for a while. We know it's hard, but be persistent. Soon your child will learn that whining is not an effective way to get something from you. What type of parent are you? Different parents have different styles. What's important is that you are aware of who you are as a parent. Experts tend to look at three basic elements: parent responsiveness, demandingness, and psychological control, which relates to the amount of control over the child a parent feels is necessary. To help you understand your own parenting style, consider the following points. What do you think of children who misbehave? Do they need to be taught what's expected? Should they be punished? Do they have parents who are too lenient? Can love help through most challenges? Can too much affection spoil a child? There are many possible answers to these questions as they vary from parent to parent. Another issue to consider is the match between your parenting style and your child's temperament. For example, a child who tends to be anxious might need a parent who is more controlling, so he knows what to expect and becomes less anxious. A good fit between a parent and child is important, and the first step is to ask yourself, how do you parent? Now that your baby is 2, you must be hearing the word no quite often. Your toddler's growing sense of self is what spurs that assertive no, and experts say it is a good sign of appropriate development. It can be wonderful to watch this budding independence, but it can also be draining. Here are some tips on how to turn the terrible 2s into the terrific 2s. Look for ways to encourage your toddler's independence while maintaining an ordered and structured environment. Let your toddler make his own decisions, but offer limited options. Give her some control. Ask her, do you want milk or juice for breakfast? Give your toddler some responsibility. It can be his job to put napkins on the table. Avoid unnecessary battles. Give in when it's really not important. This will give him a sense of ownership and pride. Sometimes nothing will help, and your 2-year-old will throw a tantrum. When that happens, keep your cool, and remember, at this age, most toddlers can understand more than they can express themselves, and that, at times, leads to frustration and tantrums.
Subscribe now.